All right. My name is Ryan McCargar. This is our interview for the business management project. So why don't you go ahead and start by telling me your name and who you are?
Sure. My name is Dave McCargar, and I work for a company called Ambient AI in San Jose, California.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And just for the viewers, this is my dad, by the way. So you just answered where do you work? You said ambient AI, and how long have you been in your role there?
I've been in my role here at Ambient AI for a little over 3 years.
Awesome. Thank you. Which industry is representative of your organization?
So the industry that the company that I work for is in the computer vision intelligence vertical, and it would be a narrow slice of artificial intelligence that is focused on what intelligence can be gathered from computer vision. And then specifically, my role within the company is I lead the organization called Customer Success and Implementation, and that team is responsible for all post-sales activity within a customer. So implementing solutions that a customer has purchased, renewing the contracts with the customers, and looking for opportunities for those customers to grow further with the software.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's very thorough. Um, have how long have you been in that position for?
Since I've worked at Ambient AI, so a little bit over 3 years.
Awesome. All right. One of the first questions, kind of longer questions we have is I'll just get right into it. Consider your greatest career achievement in that role. Provide details, including the time period, the persons, products, and services involved. And then in addition to that, I can remind you as we're going through this question, just if you can mention what management principles, strategies, or processes did you employ that you believe led to the effective organizational outcome?
Sure. Probably one of the top three successes in the role here at Ambient AI has been we're a startup company and we secured a large contract with a company called LinkedIn, which you might be familiar with. And LinkedIn wanted to deploy 2,500 camera streams across their enterprise organization in North America and in Europe. So what that entailed was working through an architectural review. It entailed securing resources at Ambient AI from the implementation and professional services team to identify which stakeholders to work with at LinkedIn, how quickly they wanted to install and move quickly into those 2,500 streams, and identify project milestones along the way. The time frame that we were doing this was in June of 2022 to June of 2023. And the other parts of the question had to do with,
Yeah, do you want me to go over it one more time?
sure.
Got you. I think you hit the main pieces, and the second part was just for you specifically, and kind of what your role was in that. What management principles, strategies, or processes did you employ for your team that you believe led to this effective organizational outcome?
Sure. So from a strategic perspective, the most important thing for a customer to experience when they're buying a new solution, in the context of what we do, is establishing a time to value. And so establishing a very quick time to value for LinkedIn was really important because an organization that is working with a new technology, they're constantly needing to sell the success of the technology that they purchased upwards into their leadership team to define and sort of support the fact that they made a good decision. So what we did to ensure that they were able to do that was we chose one location in their San Francisco office, and we identified a very specific area where we would deploy the Ambient AI platform and then connect the cameras and the signatures and be able to quickly be able to provide some return on investment for them in an environment where we could provide the results and channel those up to their executive leadership team in order to support the purchase that they made.
Got you. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so now I'm going to go through a list of a few specific topics. And while you were going through this process of looking at the San Francisco office and looking at the time to value chain, if you could just rate on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not very useful and 5 being very useful, how you use these concepts in managing your team and your role in doing this. So the first one is listening.
And it's a scale of 1 to 5, and 5 being the most important.
Yep. 5 being you use it all the time, 1 being you never used it.
Listening, 5.
Okay. Empathy,
4.
healing,
2.
like reconciling with your team and maybe dealing with different arguments.
Sure. I would say 2. There were some conflicts and obstacles that came up that the team had to work through. And so working through those and healing with the customer was part of that.
Got you. Awareness,
5,
persuasion.
4.
Okay. And let me know if you need me to expand on any of these topics if they don't make sense.
No,
Um,
would you like me to provide any more commentary on any of those or no?
no, you're doing great.
Okay.
Conceptualization,
5,
foresight,
5,
stewardship,
3,
commitment to people growth,
2,
interest in building community.
5.
Awesome. All right, we can move on to the next question. Give me 1 second to pull it up. We're kind of going to do the same format where we're going to answer the question and then I can go through, it's kind of a long question, so I'll go through it a couple times and let me know if you need me to review any pieces that you forgot to answer the first time. And I'll let you know once you're done answering. And then at the end, we'll go back to the chart we just did. And then in the scenario that you'll explain in a second, we'll go through again and rank the numbers one more time. So we'll get right into it. Consider one significant challenge, preferably one with an ethical dilemma you faced in that role. How did you handle it, and what was the outcome? Provide details including the time, the people involved, the products, the competition, the market conditions, and things of that nature.
Sure.
And for this one, if you could kind of relate it more specifics to like you and your team individually, like I believe it was the customer success team. Is that correct?
One of the teams underneath the customer success umbrella that I oversee is called the TDAC, Threat Detection and Analysis Center. And within the time frame of May, June of 2023, Ambient AI closed some contracts with 2 government agencies. And why is that important? That's important because the sharing of data with people that are not US citizens is a very big compliance issue with government companies, government agencies, or businesses that are doing business with the government. So 2 of the companies that we signed contracts with had this requirement that the data, keep in perspective, computer vision intelligence, so computer videos that might have faces and bodies of individuals on video clips could not go to and be seen by individuals that did not have a US citizenship.
Hmm.
And the structure of our threat detection and analysis team had individuals that were based in India for our non-business hours that were recipients of these video clips from these companies. And so from an ethics perspective, we were challenged with reorganizing our threat detection and analysis center to be able to channel certain video clips to only go to workers on the team that had their US citizenship. So strategically, we had to figure out from a technology standpoint how to limit or gate video clips only going to certain individuals on the team. And then we had to restructure the team so that we always had somebody on a particular shift that had their US citizenship.
Hmm.
You can look up at the acronym for why we had to do this was that they had an ITAR compliance, ITAR compliance. So we needed to structure the team so that we could accommodate 99% of our other customers that didn't have this requirement. But we also had to figure out how to budget for more expensive team members in the US that had their US citizenship and channel just the video clips to those individuals.
Got you. That was very thorough. I think you hit all the different points. So thank you very much. That's super interesting. Um, all right. I think we're good to head into the list one more time if you're good to go with that. And then just a reminder that the 5 is most used, and then the 1 is like never used. Listening,
5,
empathy,
2,
healing,
2,
awareness,
5,
persuasion,
3,
conceptualization,
3,
foresight,
5,
stewardship,
3,
commitment to people growth,
3,
and interest in building community.
3.
Awesome. All right. Question 4. What was the mission, vision, and strategy of the organization, and how were they accomplished? How essential is the entrepreneurial mindset in achieving the mission, vision, strategy of the organization? Does that question make sense?
It does. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
So the mission of our company and our group is to prevent every security incident possible. And the vision that follows along that is agentic AI enabling a proactive and autonomous security operation. So if I take that a little bit further, those are the two like key pillars within the company and our organization. How are they accomplished? They are accomplished by deploying a computer vision and intelligence slash AI platform to corporate campuses where today there are several camera feeds and several high definition TVs that have great video footage coming into them, but there are not enough individuals who are there to watch them to actually take action on the items that come through on the video feeds. So we were able to accomplish this with an entrepreneurial mindset by deploying an AI platform that essentially does the work for an individual and just alerts people to have to take action on specific concerning activities like person brandishing a firearm or another weapon or a health and safety issue like someone who's fallen down and hurt themselves.
That's a great answer. I'm just writing some notes down on this so I can remember when I review. Awesome. Well, we're going to go through one more list for this question of different topics to rate from 1 to 5. Five being something that you've always used, and one being something you've never used in relation to this question. And then we'll answer one more question and then we'll be good to go. Sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. So the first one is risk propensity.
High. 5.
5, got it. Generalized self-efficacy.
4.
Need to achieve.
5.
Need for autonomy.
4.
Extroversion.
5.
Agreeableness.
5.
Conscientiousness.
3.
Emotional stability.
5.
Openness to experience.
5.
Tolerance for ambiguity.
3.
Positive intentions and attitudes.
5.
Positivity and work ethic.
5.
Internal locus of control. That's
Say that
like
last one again.
internal locus of control. It's like your self-determination,
5.
your innovativeness, and your creativity.
5.
Awesome. All right. And the last question, number 5. Apart from servant leadership and the entrepreneurial mindset, please identify 2 significant lessons or attributes that are essential for success. Describe anything you wish you would have specifically avoided that may have derailed or delayed your success. So this question has 2 parts. The 2 attributes that are essential for success, besides the ones that we already talked about, the entrepreneurial mindset and servant leadership. And then the second part is anything that you would have avoided that had derailed or delayed your success. So I can go over the second question later, but we'll start with the first one,
Sure.
about 2 lessons that are essential for success.
Yeah, 2, I guess, attributes resonates the most with me, if that's okay, of success in this role in this organization are tenacity and a long-term vision. And I apply those specifically because our company and our organization is what you would call in a disruptive market. What do I mean by that? The technology is disrupting many years of things that have been done the same way, of security operators and security guards looking at a television screen or computer screen and watching video or doing many hours of watching video looking for something that happened in the past. So tenacity comes in. There's a lot of inertia or obstacles to making change in an industry that's been doing things the same way for a long time.
Mhm.
And so it takes a lot of training and retraining and enablement and providing the vision for people and how the long-term outcomes are going to be superior to how they do things today. And then also being able to explain the return on investment, both from a dollar perspective and from a proactive security posture perspective.
Mhm.
So that's along the tenacity piece of it, meaning it just takes a lot of repeat and aggressive effort over and over and over. And from a long-term vision perspective, when you are deploying a new technology, um, a customer that's deploying a new disruptive technology needs to be able to uh, overcome small bugs and small areas where the product is not working perfect yet. And so you, as a leader of the group and team members, need to be able to see the long-term vision and be able to overcome some of the hiccups with the software platform along the way. And you need to be able to share that vision with your customer so that the customer can also see and sell that vision upwards as they're deploying and realizing value with the technology.
Hmm.
The
That's
second part of the question you said was, what
yeah.
do you wish that you could have specifically avoided? Describe anything you wish you would have avoided that may have derailed or delayed your success. Yeah, one of the things that I wish that we would have avoided was what you would call future selling. And the context of that is around when a customer is purchasing a technology in a new disruptive environment, you're selling not only what the product does today, but you're selling what the product will do in the future. Because a lot of times the existing product features and functionalities don't 100% meet the needs of the customer. And so one of the things that I wish our sales team would have avoided or could have avoided was selling too far into the future. They have been selling things that are not close enough in timeline for the customer to realize. And so the post-sales team is needing to manage expectations with the customer on when these things that have been sold will be available and try to ensure that they're still getting value out of the current product while we're waiting for new features and functionalities that really meet their needs to come along.
Mhm. Got you. That's awesome. Thank you so much for all your answers. It's been super helpful, super thorough. I really appreciate your time. Yeah, just thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the recording right now, so give me 1 second to do that.